Nate Sharp here, going through every week one game. We've been staring at these lines for the last 5 months, so excited to finally get into it. Season opener, Dallas travels to Philadelphia. Philadelphia laying 7 in the game, total at 46.5. Big question mark, Micah Parsons. Recording this on Thursday, so we might get some news here over the weekend, but Micah Parsons, will he be out there? Will he not? Even if he is out there, what kind of shape is the guy going to be in? Hasn't really practiced all camp. Trayvon Diggs expected to play his first game since coming back from his knee injury. Left tackle Tyler Guyton for the Cowboys has a minor knee injury. He's going to try to give it a go. That's about it for injuries. Dallas has a lot of talent on offense, for sure. I'm not doubting their talent this year. Lamb, Pickens, Ferguson at tight end. It's a good trio of weapons for Dak to throw to. Don't really have any faith at all in Dallas slowing down Philly on offense. Even if Parsons is out there, there's just not a lot on defense for Dallas. Trayvon Diggs coming back from the injury. I thought he was a little overrated even before the injury, so how's he going to look? Deron Bland is a decent player, but definitely see Philly moving the ball in this one. I think it's a realistic possibility. You look up midway through the third quarter, and it's a 10, 14-point lead for Philly, and Dallas just completely abandons the run game, and Dak just starts chucking it all over the place. We saw that in a couple games last year when Dallas gets down. They just go into complete chase mode, and good for fantasy. If you got Dak in those games, it's just all pass all the time, and he puts up some pretty big numbers in those games. Because of that, I did play Dak over 239.5 passing yards. I thought that number was too low. It's sitting right around mid-240s right now. I would still go over that number. I think it's going to be a pass-heavy offense for Dallas. I also would look over 46.5 on the total in this game. I definitely think you're going to see some points. Next game, Brazil game, Friday night. Chargers, Chiefs. Chiefs laying 3 with some slight juice to that, and total in the game 45. Joe Alt is going to slide over to left tackle and take Rashawn Slater's spot. Trey Pipkins is going to slide in at right tackle. Worth noting, Trey Pipkins was the 86th graded guard last year by PFF, so you could see some pressure on that side. Last time we saw Kansas City obviously embarrassed in the Super Bowl. Rashee Rice suspended the first 6 games. I think that's a bigger deal than people are making it. He should be Mahomes' top weapon this year. It's also worth noting, keep an eye on the field conditions in this game. Last year's Brazil game in the same arena had very slippery surface. We saw guys slipping and sliding all over the place, resulted in a pretty high-scoring game because defenders just couldn't get their footing. Pass rush couldn't get off the ball. I would lean towards the KC side here. Obviously, the times you want to look to bet against KC is when they're in one of those sleepy spots and they don't get up for the game. They're definitely going to be up for this one, guys. Season opener, obviously embarrassed last time they were on national television. I would lean towards the Chiefs laying the 3. I think you can play a money line at 160, 170 if you can get it in that. Next up, Arizona heads to New Orleans to take on the Saints. Arizona laying 6.5. Total in the game 42, 42.5. Spencer Rattler gets the nod for New Orleans, which I think was the right move for sure. And there's a good team around him. I think this New Orleans roster has talent. It's a good offensive line. You got good weapons for Rattler and a decent defense for sure. A lot of people are expecting Arizona to make a jump this year. I don't know if I necessarily see that. It's an average team, average to good team. I think you really got to look at the Saints team as being an under team, as in, take their totals under. Because if I'm going against New Orleans, I'm letting this team move the ball pretty much in between the 20s. I'm going to bank on, a bad turnover from Rattler or a penalty somewhere to stall the drive. So teams should let them move the ball, and I think they will move the ball in between the 20s, but their touchdown ability is going to be capped because of the quarterback play. I do expect New Orleans to keep Arizona in check somewhat. No plays on this game, but I would lean to 7. If you could get a 7 on New Orleans, I would lean that way. I would also lean towards the under. Moving on, Miami Dolphins at the Colts. Colts are favored in between 1.5 and 2 right now. Total in the game, 47. Miami offense should be decent once again as long as Tua stays out there. That's a big if, as we know. The Miami defense, the secondary has a lot of holes. Just picked up Rasul Douglas yesterday. But yeah, I think the game's lined correctly. Basically a pick-em game. I do like Indy. I'm higher than most on Indy from a season perspective. I think they can go over their 7.5 win total and possibly even compete for that division. Daniel Jones gets to leave New York and relax a little bit, just play ball. And I do think Daniel Jones, I know it's crazy to say, is an upgrade from Anthony Richardson. At least gives them a little bit of a passing threat. And again, I do think this team can go over the 7.5 win total. I think the game, just getting back to the game, I think it does have some sneaky shootout potential. Could see some points in this one for sure. Next up, the Raiders travel all the way across the country to Foxborough to take on the Patriots. Patriots laying 3. Seen a few 2.5s, but for the most part laying 3. Total 43 in the game. And the offseason hype train that is the New England Patriots should get a good test right from the start here in week 1. Raiders upgrade city at the 2 most important spots, quarterback and coach. Obviously, Antonio Pierce, a disaster last year. Pete Carroll should bring some real professionalism to the team. New England starting 2 rookies at guard and tackle right next to each other on the offensive line, so that's going to be very interesting to see them go up against Crosby and a good pass rush for Las Vegas. The Raiders don't have much on defense outside of the front 4 and the second and third levels, and I think New England's receiving core is a little underrated. A lot of people have been writing off Stephon Diggs. I do think he's got a little bit left in the tank to go along with Pop Douglas and Mac Hollins, who's a good player. I saw him up close and personal on Buffalo last year. He's a good third option. Got to look into this game a little more, but I'm looking to play the over the total in the game. Obviously, keep an eye on the wind and the weather up there in Foxborough. Next game I have a very strong opinion on. Pittsburgh will be in New York. Pittsburgh laying 3. Total in the game, 38. My favorite play week 1 all summer was this game under 39.5. I think you can still play it at 38. Just not a lot of talent on offense for either of these teams. Wilson and Hall for the Jets are nice weapons, but, I mean, does it really matter if Justin Fields is your quarterback? I'm not sure it does. And Rodgers, 41 years old, 0 mobility. I just think he's got very little left in the tank. From a season-long perspective, I think he can game manage Pittsburgh to a decent season and some wins with some good coaching from Tomlin. But this, as far as this game, it just feels like a game where both of these teams are just waiting for the other one to make a mistake. A lot of running plays, clock churning, asking both of these teams to get to 20 against each of these defenses, I think is a big ask. So yeah, let's go under the 38, Pittsburgh and the New York Jets. Good divisional battle on the card next, as the Giants will be in Landover playing the Commanders. This number came out. It opened at 7, all the way down to 6 now. Total in the game, 45.5. Giants played Washington tough last year. Lost to them by a combined 8 points in their 2 games. And as we've heard all offseason, this Giants team is loaded up front on defense with talent. They got a lot of talent up front. They're going to make some noise. I think they can keep this Washington team in check, at least in the first half. McLaurin hasn't been practicing all camp, as we know, with the contract dispute. I can see a low-scoring first half in this game. I'm going to play under the 23.5. 24 is a key number in first halves. If we could get that 24, great. But yes, under 23.5 first half, Giants and Commanders. Panthers and Jags. This number's been bouncing back and forth all summer between 3 and 2.5. Total 46.5 in the game. I'm high on the Jags. I think this team can exceed expectations. I think that could be, AFC South can be a sneaky good division. I like the Jags and Colts to be better than expected, and Houston Texans probably have the best defense in football, so a sneaky good division there. As far as this game, like the Philly and Dallas game, I could see the Jags having a lead in the second half here, and Bryce Young going into chase mode. I like the over 46.5 between these teams. I think Liam Cohen is going to get this Jags offense on track. Trevor Lawrence expects him to finally have a good year. And let's go over 46.5, Jacksonville and Carolina, week 1. Another divisional battle next up, Bengals-Browns. Bengals laying 6, total 46.5, 47 in the game. This is a tough game to handicap. The Browns' season should be just a complete throwaway. I have no idea why they got rid of Kenny Pickett. I think Pickett was their best option at quarterback. And for the Bengals, more of the same. Great offense, terrible defense. Defense should be bad again. It's a tough game to handicap. You never know what you're going to get when you got a bad offense going against a bad defense. Joe Flacco, I don't think he's really got much left. The Browns, he had his magical run with the Browns. They're trying to bring him back to recreate that, but I don't really see it happening. Tough game. No opinion on this game. Tampa Bay makes the short trip up to Atlanta. Tampa Bay laying 2 in the game. Total 47.5, 48-ish. Not a lot to say on this game. I'm going to go through it pretty quick. I do think Atlanta, from a season-long perspective, can make some noise and definitely is in competition for this division if Michael Penix makes that second-year jump. But yeah, as far as the game, I don't have a lot here. I think it's lined pretty correctly. Should be a good game to just sit back and watch. Next up, Seattle will host the 49ers. 49ers favored by 2.5 in the game. Total 45. I've been all about the Seahawks lately, the last month, the more that I look at this team in this game. Initially, I didn't think they had a lot on offense, but after watching the 2 rookies, Torrey Horton and Elijah Arroyo in the preseason, I think this team has a chance to be really, really good this year. They got a great defense, obviously defensive-minded head coach, Mike McDonald. I would love to get a 3. I would love for a 3 to pop up, and I would make a pretty sizable play on Seattle. Other than that, I would like teasing Seattle up to 8.5, 9-ish. But yes, I think Sam Darnold can do more of the same this year, more of what he did last year in Minnesota. He was awesome in the regular season, spreading it out to all the weapons and managing those games. You want Sam Darnold in the regular season. You don't want him in a big spot. It's pretty much that simple. Give me Seattle +3. We're going to wait for it, and I might buy it. I would buy it. 120, 125 juice if you can. Also played Seattle to win this division at a nice price. Played them +550. Denver Broncos favored by 7.5 and climbing against the Tennessee Titans. Just a vicious spot for Cam Ward to start his career in here in Denver. Going up against one of the best defenses in the game. Altitude, home field advantage for the Broncos. I'd be really surprised. I'm not going to say shocked because it's the NFL, but I'd be very surprised if Tennessee pulled this one off. And wow, that would be crazy if they did. What a start that would be for Cam Ward. Don't see a lot of points in this game. Think it should be relatively low scoring. And what should be one of the best games of the weekend, Green Bay 1.5 against Detroit. I don't have a lot on this game from a plays perspective. Just going to be a good game to sit back and enjoy. I think the Packers are absolutely live for the Super Bowl this year. A lot of talent on that team. But yes, no opinion on the game for me. Houston will be out in L.A. Rams have been bouncing back and forth between a 2.5 and 3-point favorite. Over under 44.5 in the game. Finally going to get some answers to the soap opera that has been Matthew Stafford and his back this entire summer. So again, I'm recording on Thursday here. My vision here is to wait until Stafford is ruled a full go. Now, I think you're going to see the total go up a little bit, 45.5. Would love to get a 46, and then I would bang back on the under 46 in this game. But let's wait for that official news, and then we will act from there. Sunday Night Football, your big boy, a rematch of that divisional playoff matchup, Baltimore and Buffalo, basically down to a pick'em game. Was around Buffalo 1.5, basically down to a pick'em now, total 52. Should be an incredible game. Ravens defense, I think, will be one of the best units in the league. On the other side, Bills have some serious secondary problems. I follow this team closely. I live in Buffalo, New York. They are my favorite team. But yes, they definitely have some holes in the secondary. Not to get off topic, but just been enjoying Hard Knocks before we kick off the season here. One thing I have seen from Hard Knocks, I'd be shocked if Joe Brady was back and didn't have a head coaching job at the end of this year. Guy knows football, knows offense, really impressive. Going to be sad to see him go for sure at the end of this year, but hopefully he can leave with a ring on his finger. That's what we're all hoping for here in Buffalo. But yes, as far as a plays perspective on this game, I have teased the Ravens up to 7.5. Other than that, don't really have much. I would lean towards Baltimore and under. But yes, as we go along, I follow the Bills very closely. So as we do more podcasts this year, you're going to see me betting against them, betting with them. It's a team that I know probably better than any in the league. And you hear people say all the time, oh, don't bet on your favorite team's games. I completely disagree with that. Your favorite team, you should know your favorite team better than anybody else, and you should be able to bet on them or against them in basically every scenario. So I do not subscribe to that at all, that you shouldn't bet on your favorite team. Monday Night Football, Vikings favored by 1.5 over the Bears, over under 43. Should be another great game. J.J. McCarthy, what is he going to look like? That is the big question. The Vikings team is just loaded from top to bottom with talent on offense and defense. Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson. Can Ben Johnson fix him? I don't know if he can. Caleb Williams, I think he's got potential, but he's just got too much college in him. He's too much college quarterback in him. After his first read's not there, his brain kind of like shuts down, and he just looks for somewhere to run. Guy doesn't really know how to throw the ball away and cut his losses. But yeah, I think the Bears will be improved. I like under 43 in the game. I'm going to be on the under here. Primetime game, week 1, maybe you might see the number tick up a little bit, 43.5, 44. But yes, I like under 43 in this game. And just to review and go over all of my official plays, Dallas, Philadelphia, over 46.5. Dak Prescott, over 245.5 passing yards. Pittsburgh, New York Jets, under 38. Washington, New York Giants, first half, under 23.5. Carolina, Jacksonville, over 46.5. Seattle, +3. Might have to buy a little juice. I would play it +3, -125 against the 49ers. Houston and LA Rams, under 45. Minnesota and Chicago on Monday Night Football, under 43. And I'm also going to throw in Minnesota and Chicago first half, under 21.5. Week 1 finally here. Have fun and best of luck. See you next week, guys.